Hello everybody, Defense here, and welcome to the Garden Rebuild series. This is going to be a little bit of a show and tell slash how-to on setting up a gardening area. I have been wanting to do this for a while, as you can tell by the growth of the area. It has been a little while since we've used this. I had planned on starting this video series last fall, and well, that just didn't happen. So, we're here now. I think actually when I started recording this, it was the end of August, beginning of September. We're now into October. So it's been a little while since I've actually recorded this. I'm just doing the voiceover stuff for it now. If you follow me on the main account and stuff, you know things have been kind of crazy. So we're just going to get into it. What we did here, obviously, is I took down a lot of the larger brush. And you'll see me doing that now. And if you let it sit too long, it does grow like this because there's a lot of nutrients in the soil, so they just kind of suck it all up and just kind of go with it. And, you know, we'll just compost those down later, which actually we're going to be doing a video on composting, which I'm going to have a couple types of composters in this garden, which will be pretty cool to see. They're going to be along the side where the main gate area is. You probably can't see that right now with everything that's up there. But I just wanted to let you know about that. I don't know when I'm doing the video on that. We're kind of up in the air. We're getting into, you know, towards the winter, which will make things a bit harder. But I'm hoping to get that out to you guys eventually, maybe the beginning of the spring, hopefully the end of fall, so that we can get some comments on it and some ideas and maybe do a part 2 once spring comes around. But that is not the point of today's video. I'm just showing you this little bit of a time lapse here of me working on this, and it was fun. I'm going to explain things that might not be happening yet because I'm not watching the video while I'm doing the voiceover. I just finished watching it. So what we did, obviously, as I said, is we took out a lot of the long greens. I'm going to go through and weed whack a lot of the lower stuff, and then I actually end up grabbing a rototiller and till up a lot of the stuff into the soil. It loosens up any of the hard pack stuff, mixes in a bunch of the lower green vegetation back into the soil so it can break down a bit. And then I end up just putting it all in a pile because that was kind of my initial plan, was to put it all into a pile so that I could build up the beds and put the dirt in the beds, which is pretty much what we're going to be doing. We don't actually do that in the video. All we end up getting to the point to is piling everything up. And I think it's pretty good, you know. It just shows you a little bit of the process of reclaiming an area that you used to garden. There's always going to be that big growth, and there's always going to be other stuff there too. So one of the things I really noticed while working in this is growing up, this area down here was actually dug out when we first moved in here down to the clay layer. We actually live on the river, so there's a bunch of orange clay down here, which is terrible for growing. It makes it really hard to grow anything. But over the years, we've mixed in compost from the other garden. You'll see like leaf dumps in here. Last fall, we dumped a bunch of leaves into here, and that's all broken down. And the upside of that is you can see it's a nice dark soil now. You can see some clay in some spots, but it's a very good soil mix now. And something you don't see on camera is the amount of earthworms and worms and bugs that were just rooting through everything, which help the soil altogether, both for breaking down and releasing nutrients, but also for aerating the soil and making it so roots can grow better in it. So all of that in this area is very good. The worms will help with the garden once we do get that built and in. Another thing that does help with the area, not very much with the garden, is I had a bunch of voles. I don't think they end up being in the... Oh yeah, I did cut them because I had to grab the dog because he saw them come out of the ground and went, ooh, look, something to play with. You will see the dog, one of the dogs, a couple of times in this video. That's Bear. Diva didn't come down. She likes to just lie around when she's outside, but Bear likes to be wherever the action is. So you'll see him a couple of times helping me pull some plants out, eating some sticks, so on and so forth. But yeah, I found a tunnel of like voles while I was in here. There were probably about 6 or 7 of them. I got them all away. They're just no longer in that garden. They just kind of ran away as I was chasing them out. So they're gone. I don't have to deal with them. Hopefully they don't cause a problem in the future. Yeah, there's stuff that'll happen. If it happens, it happens. Most of the root crop stuff that I do, I end up putting a mesh along the bottom anyway, like the like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch wire mesh, so they can't get through the bottom. That'll be for like my carrots and potatoes and stuff like that. But that'll be in another part of another video when we do the gardening beds. But now I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so those aren't good for your plants, but they're very good for aerating your soil. They make it so that there's better root growth. The roots can grow through the tunnels that they've made, stuff like that, which is very good in a natural environment. We're doing raised bed gardening here, so it's not going to be as useful for us. But, you know, it helps. It helped in the breaking down of the soil. There were so many of them there because they actually eat worms. They eat the earthworms and stuff, so that's why there were so many of them there. Easy soil, easy place to hide. And there's really not much in my yard that's going to try and eat them, except for maybe some birds flying over. Most of the other stuff stays out of the yard, and we have a lot of fenced-in areas, so we don't get a lot of like the smaller varmints. That's actually the first time I've gotten to use the word varmints. But that's pretty much the start of the project there. I did just notice watching through the video, I never showed an endpoint of it, so I'm going to end up doing that, but we're going to probably switch over to a little bit of music so that you guys can just watch out the rest of this. I just wanted to really explain a little bit of what was going on. If you guys do have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability, either in the comments or in another video, so that you guys can get a visual process of what's going on. But yeah, plans for this is I want to do, as I said, a multi-part series. This is going to be, the start of garden prep. I want to walk you through building a simple raised bed, a soil sifter, so that you can get large chunks of matter out of the soil that you're going to put into your beds, rocks, sticks, stuff like that out of it. I have a compost one that I want to do, covering pile composting, dump composting, which is what I call what we did in this garden, where you just kind of dump it and leave it, tumblers, and worm beds. So those are all things that I'm going to talk about in another episode as well. Hopefully, I actually just picked up the stuff to do new composting area and the stuff to do one of the beds today. Lumber prices are still a little up there, and the fact that I just bought like 20 stone blocks to do something else. I only bought enough to do one of the beds today, so once spring comes around, we'll obviously end up buying more and doing more. But I just wanted to drop that little bit of an info for you. If there's anything you'd like to see when it comes to the gardening, let me know. We'll see if we can fit it in as a series for an episode for you in this series, if it can. Otherwise, it'll just be like a quick answer in another video or something along those lines. But again, enjoy, and there'll be a little bit of music, and then I'm actually going to go out and film a little bit of the area to show you guys what it looks like now that it's all kind of cleaned up and in that pile, and actually some of the stuff's already moved into there. So, enjoy. Okay, so here we are, just to wrap up for that video. You can see the piles here. It's got a lot of stuff growing in it. There's actually still a lot of growth for this late in the season. I was actually posting about it on Instagram the other day, where I'd harvested like 20 pounds of peppers, which is pretty good for this late in the season. But yeah, this is it so far. That's the pile. It actually looks a lot smaller on camera because you really can't see the height. Yeah, even that way it looks small. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, as I said, we've already started moving some other stuff over here. We've got 2 different compost tumblers. This one's just a split side. You can actually see some good compost starting in here, which is good. The other side's pretty much empty. And then if you've been following me for a while, especially on Instagram, you would have seen this guy here. We actually found this on the side of the road. Somebody was throwing this one out. I actually just emptied it. It's actually it's in the wheelbarrow over here. But yeah, as I said, we'll be covering all this probably in 2 episodes. I don't know. But yeah, this is everything that came out of there. It's actually a little wet right now. It's been a very wet last couple of weeks. But yeah. It's going to be usable. It's going to be nice. But I just wanted to do some form of a wrap up for this so that you guys could see what everything looked like afterwards. And yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. So as I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. But with that, I want to thank you for stopping in. I hope you did enjoy, and hope you all have a nice night, day, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. This is my defense. I hope to see you again soon. Peace.